Are you alone on Valentine's Day? Good, you should be. Stay at home. But guess what? So are like half the Smash Brothers roster. So let's take a look at their passports and see which ones have made trips to Pound Town. Mostly going off of what canonically happens in their game, but if there's not enough evidence, then we're gonna have to fill in the blanks ourselves. And there are certain special categories that I'll explain when we get there. And wait, there are how many characters? Smash 64 characters. Number 1, Mario. His entire character motivation is that he has not gotten any action with Princess Peach. I know he briefly dated Pauline, but given how she literally doesn't remember him in Mario Odyssey, which canonically takes place after Donkey Kong, I doubt anything actually happened between them. Or if there was, it was so terrible that he's better off saying it never happened in the first place. So, virgin. Donkey Kong. First special category we're introducing is a wild animal. If you've seen any nature documentaries or been to any zoos during mating season, you know that animals get it on. Raw. Link. Probably not, especially considering that this is Breath of the Wild Link, where first he was a knight, and then he was killed, and then he slept for 100 years, and then he exposed himself to Paya. And he was asleep during his prime years, and I'm not sure if the Shrine of Resurrection might have preserved his, manlyhood. You might have a shriveled pickle situation down there. So we're gonna go with virgin. Samus. I haven't played Other M, but I think it's implied that she hooked up with Adam Malkovich, her commanding officer. He commanded dead ass. And from a human resources perspective, that is a red light relationship. Don't want to get involved in that. But Samus is Samus, so we'll put her up here for now. Dark Samus reproduces asexually. I assume? What even is that? Yoshi is a wild animal, always popping out kids, dodging taxes and dodging birth control. Kirby does not have knowledge of the concept of sex. Fox, a wild animal, probably boned Crystal at some point, or maybe Wolf. There was definitely some chemistry there. I noticed. Pikachu, most of the Pokemon I'm going to the category of is a wild animal. Where do you think all these random encounters are coming from? Luigi, he's a big old simp for Daisy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one that built that statue of them dancing in Daisy Circuit Mario Kart Wii, but he probably hasn't actually gotten it on with her. According to the rumors, he is well endowed, but he strikes me as someone who has a powerful tool, but doesn't really know how to use it. That being said, size does matter. Ness. New category we're introducing is a child, therefore is a virgin. Captain Falcon, he's a famous race car driver. He probably boned Jodie Summer at some point. We're introducing this new category we're also putting Samus into, known as Coitus Haver All Day, also known as Chad. Jigglypuff is a wild animal. When the trainers are around, probably having some puff puff. The melee characters. Peach, she's a princess, not a queen, would most likely have to stay pure until after marriage, as royal marriages are often political. And we don't know what happened behind closed doors all those times she was kidnapped by Bowser, but from a physical aspect, I don't think Bowser's big turtly dong could slot into Peach's toy cooch. So we're gonna go with virgin. Daisy, she's spunky, but also a princess, virgin. Zelda, she's crafty, but also a princess, also virgin. Sheik is Zelda, also a virgin. Bowser, he's a wild animal and also a dad to Bowser Jr. Anyone who's a parent is automatically confirmed to be not virgin. Ice climbers. According to Google, they're in a purely platonic relationship, and I don't think there's too much action going off the top of those icy mountains when your Johnson's gonna frostbite off as soon as you whip it out, so I'm gonna go ahead and say both virgins. Dr. Mario. It's just an alternate universe Mario where he actually got into med school, but I've seen enough Grey's Anatomy to know that women like doctors, and I know multiple people who have slept with the people they got drugs from, so Chad. Pichu is a wild animal, but is a child, and I'm pretty sure baby Pokemon can't reproduce in the game. They gotta evolve first. Falco, he might be a wild animal, but he has the anger and jealousy of someone who's gotten zero action in their lifetime. Marth, new category. Anyone who is canonically married in their game, I will assume that they at least would have consummated their vows. Between the events of Fire Emblem 1 and Fire Emblem 3, Marth gets married to Sheeta, so I'm gonna assume they would have consummated those vows with Marth's second falchion, probably more than just the tipper, if you know what I mean. Lucina, she can get married during the events of Fire Emblem Awakening, and if she marries male Robin, they'll have a child. Young Link is a child. Ganondorf is the only man in a tribe of all women. You know what that means? Chad. Mewtwo is a wild animal, but legendary Pokemon can't reproduce, not even with that hoe known as Ditto, so virgin. Roy, he's 15, but he gets married at the end of his game to one of multiple women, and people in the medieval times would get married and have kids pretty young ages, so I'm gonna say married. Crom. During Fire Emblem Awakening, he gets married and gives birth to Lucina. Well, his wife gives birth to Lucina. You know what I mean? Mr. Game & Watch. I don't know if there is a Mrs. Game & Watch, and you could make the argument that since he's a sexy firefighter in one of the games, he wouldn't have any problem getting some action. But I'm gonna say, unless he was fucking the flag man or getting some hot hentai action with that octopus, I'm gonna say you need at least 3 dimensions to get it on. Length, width, and girth. So, virgin. The Brawl characters. Meta Knight. I don't know, same as Kirby. No concept of sex, he's basically wearing a chastity belt on his face. Virgin. Pit. Simp! Dark Pit. Dark Simp! Zero Suit Samus. Whatever I said for Samus, but even more so, Chad. Wario. Who could ever? Like, look at him. Who could ever? The smell of his moist must would be enough to kill you instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and say virgin. Unless he maybe did something with Waluigi. Snake. The plot to Metal Gear is confusing, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he boned Meryl at the end of Metal Gear Solid 1. Besides, look at that booty. Chad. Ike. Not a lot of people know this, but Ike is actually canonically gay. They keep it sort of vague in his game, and if his game was made today, they probably would have been more deliberate about it, but we can read between the lines. At the ending of Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, where you kill God with power friendship, aka the plot to every JRPG, Ike leaves the continent and has 2 paired ending options. One where he sails into the sunset with Soren for some hot emo boy action, or one where he sails into the sunset with Ranulf for some hot furry boy action. I know there's that Priam character from Fire Emblem Awakening's non-canonical DLC where he claims to be the descendant of the Radiant Hero, but he could either be descended from Mist, Ike's sister, or Ike and his spouse could have adopted or gotten a magical surrogate, I don't know. But regardless of these loose cannons, look at Ike's muscles. Chad. Pokemon Trainer. The trainer themselves is a child, however the 3 Pokemon are capable of breeding and probably filled the cream donut with the trainer's box Pokemon to pass on some egg moves. So they're wild animals. Diddy Kong. I'm not sure how old Diddy Kong is, so I'm not sure if he goes into is a child or wild animal, but most animals can reproduce significantly younger ages than humans can, so I'm gonna say wild animal, probably monkeyed around with Dixie Kong. Lucas is a child. Sonic. While most Sonic fanfiction would 10,000% say that he has attacked the Pink Fortress with every video game character ever, actual in-game Sonic has one of those too cool for girls attitudes, other than that one time where a human woman made out with his corpse, which was weird, and people defended this game? Anyways, virgin. King DDD. He's a king, and probably used more than just his hammer on some of those waddle-doos. Chad. Olimar. I have not played a Pikmin, but according to the wiki, he has a wife and kids back home, makes sense for an astronaut, so married with kids. Also, Alf's a character. Lucario, wild animal. Rob, he probably has hidden functionality to serve as a vibe scepter, but given that he's a Nintendo toy, hopefully hasn't? So we're gonna put him in the category of is a robot. Toon Link is a child. Wolf, wild animal and a badass space traveler. Probably boned a fox at some point, the whole rivals to lovers trope, you know? Smash 4. Should've been called Smash Floor! Villager. I've played all 5 mainline Animal Crossing games. I don't think you can actually date any of the animals in your village. You can only receive their photos, and I don't know how old Villager is supposed to be, so we'll just put him in the probably virgin category. Mega Man is a robot with some powerful tools to spice things up with roll? Oh, no. Same as Rob is a robot. We Fit Trainer is a hot yoga instructor, master of many positions. Chad. Downward Dog, more like upward dick. Rosalina. She's been traveling the stars since a young age, probably doesn't see too many people. Not saying that she couldn't pilot her observatory over to the meatpacking district if she wanted to, more like she chooses not to. Plus it's hard to find a babysitter for all those Lumas, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and say virgin. Little Mac is a fit boxer, but is very short. Short men are not kings. I'm tired of seeing all this short man propaganda. That being said, I'm sure a fan took pity on him at some point, so I'm going to reluctantly put him in the Chad tier. Greninja, wild animal. Mii Fighter. It's you, but in real life, but in the game, but in real life, but in the game. So it depends on you. But since you chose to watch this video and pound that subscribe button, I'm gonna put all of y'all in the Chad tier. Palutena, she's a goddess based on Greek mythology, and if you know anything about Greek mythology, it's that the gods love to descend to Earth and have sex with mortals just to fuck with them. So, Chad. Pac-Man, married to Mrs. Pac-Man. Robin, Fire Emblem Awakening is basically Robin's harem. You can get married and have a child with literally any character in the game. You have so many options, including the 1,000-year-old dragon that looks like a child. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. You can make a video game and not put that in. That's always an option. Shulk. He follows that anime trope of main protagonist has all these women throwing themselves at him, but he just is oblivious. At the beginning of the game, he has Fiora throwing herself at him. In the middle of the game, he has Melia throwing herself at him. So he's going to go in the special virgin category I like to call dumb. Bowser Jr. and all the Koopa kids. They are childs. Da cunt. Both are wild animals. Ryu, Chad, it's probably boned Ken. Ken, Chad, it's probably boned Ryu. Cloud. My instinct says virgin, since he falls in that same anime trope as Shulk where all the women want him but he's just like oblivious. However, there is that one scene right before the final battle of Final Fantasy VII where it's kind of vague what happened with him and Tifa while the rest of the party watches. Oh my god, that sounds like a YouTube thumbnail. But Cloud doesn't seem like the type of person to do that. Had it been me and Tifa, I would have hit that shit in Act 1. But given how distant they are in Advent Children afterwards, I don't think anything actually happened. So we're just gonna go along with Shulk. Dumb. Corrin, same situation as Robin. You can get married and have a kid and then yeetus that fetus into the baby dimension. You have so many spouse options, including some of your siblings. Wait, what the fuck? Bayonetta. I've played both Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. Could not tell you a single detail about the plot, so I'm not sure there's anything that canonically says anything about who, what, when, and where she's mounted up, but I'm pretty sure her and John may have been an item during Bayonetta 2. And come on, it's Bayonetta. She is clearly the type of character to have danced the horizontal tango. Plus there's that bonus boss fight with Rodin where it's implied they bone in the middle of it, which now that I said it out loud, didn't age well. So Chad. Smash Ultimate, also known as Smush. Inkling is a child. Splatoon may involve spraying your fluids all over the place, but ink isn't cum. Except that one time when it was. Ridley, I don't know how space pirates reproduce. So, wild animal. Simon comes from a long line of Belmonts and continues that line. Besides, look at that jawline. Chad. Richter, same as Simon, continues his lineage. Chad. King K. Rool, wild animal, and also a king. He probably helps reproduce all those Kremlins himself that you fight in the Donkey Kong Country games. Isabel, she's way too cute. Virgin. Incineroar, a fire crotch wild animal. Piranha plant. Plants don't really reproduce by, well, there's bees and there's, you know what, special category is a plant. Joker. I haven't played Persona 5, so correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, you're a high school student and you can date a number of the female characters, including your teacher. Wait, what the fuck? But nothing horizontal comes from it. And you leave town at the end of the game, so it's not even implied that he does it, like, during the ending like a lot of the Fire Emblem characters, so... Virgin. Banjo and Kazooie, wild animals, probably boning each other. Hero, you can get married at the end of Dragon Quest XI, with Jade being the correct choice. Terry, looks like your average Florida man. He's dating someone named Blue Mary Ryan. I haven't played a Fatal Fury game, but Chad. Byleth, at the end of the game you become the Pope and get married, possibly to one of your former students. Wait, what the fuck? Min Min, there's no lore in ARMS, probably why it didn't do as well as it could have, but she's an in-shape athlete, and if you've ever heard of what goes on at the Olympic Village during the Olympics, it's one big forest fuckfest. So assuming ARMS tournaments are similar, Chad. Steve and Alex, I have no fucking idea, but I'm assuming no. Sephiroth, He has fabulous hair, but he's a test tube baby.
You came out of a bottle.
In the remake, he travels through time just to flirt with Cloud, but I'm going to assume a virgin, unless during Crisis Core he boned Lucrezia. Wait, Lucrezia was his mom. Anyways, that's the video. Thank you for watching the dumbest video I've made so far. Comment below if you think I got any wrong. I know there are still some DLC characters coming out, so I'll throw a pinned comment down below when they do to update this list. And remember to smush that subscribe button for future videos that are hopefully less dumb as shit.